TGIF! Whoop, whoop. And I got a brand new t-shirt to start my weekend.
Why?
Thanks to my best friend, Jenna Mo.
That's what friends are for.
Oh, yeah. And if you follow us on Instagram, which you should, Jesse and J-Mo, you might have seen this on our stories. Jenna got me the most epic t-shirt of my second favorite diva, Ursula the Sea Witch. If you're watching us on YouTube, you can see this right now over my titties.
Which is why you should go to YouTube, follow and subscribe, because then you'll see Jesse's titties.
Which, well, you see my titties on my Facebook, too.
And it looks like Ursula's hands are on each of your nipples.
Oh, my God, they are. Yeah, just, let me fix it. There
I used to work with a woman that looked just like her.
Did I work with you at that time? Don't answer that. Okay, so this is an awesome t-shirt. Thank you, Jenna. So if you're just listening, it is a picture of Ursula the Sea Witch, and it says, when you accidentally open the front-facing camera.
And she's like, oh!
No, she's got like 6 chins. That's what it's about.
It's actually one giant
one giant chin.
But do you ever have that moment when you're just online browsing? That's what I call it, because let's be honest, I'm broke. Ain't nobody shopping these days. But I was like looking, I was like, oh my gosh, how could I just pass this and not get it for someone?
For me. Who else do you know is obsessed with Ursula the fucking Sea Witch?
Exactly.
Thank you. I really appreciate it. Now I got to get you something. Ugh.
No, you don't. But I mean, you can.
Yeah. I really like it. Thank you.
Get me a shirt with Drake on it or Rihanna. Or both of them together.
Ooh, doing what?
I don't know.
Having an affair at the cottage?
Oh, I see how you did that. We actually got a very interesting letter sent to Jesse and Jenna's Messy Podcast at gmail.com. And I have been thinking about this. We got this quite a while ago. We got this almost a week ago.
And we've been sitting on it.
Big time. But really, usually I have a lot of advice.
I know.
But this time I just don't know what to say.
This one stumped both of us. This is such a doozy that I even read it ahead of time. A lot of the time I go in blind and Jenna reads them to me on air, but I had to read this one. And we sat on it, just like the subject of this story.
Okay. Are we ready?
Hey, yeah.
Dear Jesse and Jenna, after spending every summer at our family cottage on the Ottawa River, lucky, my family became close friends with a family down the beach. This friendship has lasted over 15 years now. No longer being young kids came with the freedom of driving and spending time at the cottage alone. For the last few years, I've committed to walking the beach every evening while the sun sets. This walk would take me past the family friend's cottage. One night, I decided to go for my walk a little later in the evening than usual.
Uh-oh.
On my way back, while passing the friend's place, the father of my friend, who at this point I knew well, was having a night on his own, having a bonfire.
Wait, the father of my friend?
I think it's the dad of the friends. Like the friend
family friends.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Got it.
After getting caught up and chatting, he invited me to join him. As the night went on, we shared a bottle of wine and had a really great time together.
Oh, boy.
Knowing his family for years, it was always evident that his marriage was on the rocks, and it became clear that his relationship was over, just not yet legally. We all know what you're talking about there. Being a gay male in the presence of a very attractive man, in brackets, not an excuse, one thing led to another, and we endured in sexual relations. Who says we endured? You boned.
It sounds like it hurt. Well, it always does at first, but
when we woke up in the morning, so you spent the night too. When we woke up in where did I go? When we woke up in the morning we mutually agreed we'd never discuss that night again. I did the walk of shame down the beach and back to my cottage in time to greet the company coming up for a cottage weekend that day. As our families are still friends, it's hard to avoid seeing each other a few times every summer when the two families get together or out on the beach. A year after, his wife and him got help for their relationship, and they stayed together. A few years have passed, and I still carry around shame, regret, and guilt, especially when his kids want to get together with my siblings and I. I would love your thoughts. Should I stop staying in touch or keep hush till death? Signed, Cheers, C.
Wait a minute. I just realized something about this that I didn't get when I read it. He just said at the end, sometimes the kids still want to hang out with me and my siblings. So this is like a daddy-son fetish.
Yes.
This guy's young.
So it would be like you and your parents go to a cottage every summer and are friends with another family at the cottage. you hooked up with that friend the dad.
But obviously our writer's old enough to drink, so it's not like gross.
Well, it sounds like he's probably in his 20s and the dad's probably in his 40s.
Oh my God, this is so hot. I want to do this.
Well, my response to C was, this is a made-for-TV movie right here.
Oh, 100%.
You know, this romantic one summer, one night on the beach that you haven't been able to forget for years.
Yeah. Fuck off with your letter. We're jealous. We want to do this. We don't want you to get help.
I just wish one of my friends had a hot dad.
Yeah. You know, it's interesting. Even though they got help and they're still together, you can't therapy away the gay, as we've seen over the years, as much as you try. So,
but just because he had a relationship with a man doesn't make him gay.
That's right. That's
he could be bisexual, pansexual,
100%.
all of the above.
Just a horny pig.
Right.
Yeah.
Which a lot of men are.
Yep. My friend Emily, who's been on the podcast, great episode, Mommy and Me, it's called. Google it. Anyway, she has this theory.
You're not really selling it there.
Mommy and Me, yay! Well, we talk about dicks. But she has a theory that all men want to try the D at least once because, and of course I love this theory, but she thinks because everyone has one, you wouldn't mind playing with one. I'm like, well, does it apply to girls? If you have a vagina, do you want to play with another vagina?
I think it's just testosterone. Men like to bang anything that walks.
Maybe.
At the end of the day, like one of my friends used to say, it's all the same when the lights go out.
But it's not if you have a dick and the other's a hole. Although we have a hole too.
Right,
Mm-hmm.
exactly.
Uh-huh.
Again, if the lights are out, you don't know which hole it's going in. This is a very hard. I don't think you have to pick either exposing the secret or never talking to him again.
So let's recap. So he wants, that's his name?
No.
Oh, just C. Oops. It's probably how many guys you know with a C name that's not? Let's go through the list. Give me another C name that's a man. That's what I thought. Colin. Nobody's named Colin. It's
no, we're editing that out. You can't do that. And I'm making you edit it out, not producer John, because that was your mistake.
We don't know. He just put C. I'm assuming. I don't know for sure if it's anyway. So here's what happened when.
Stop calling it that.
I'm sorry. I didn't know if
C.
Okay, C. I don't even remember what I was going to say now, for God's sake.
Right.
But does C want to expose it? Is that what he's saying?
Well, the last thing he asked is, should I stop staying in touch or keep hush till I die? Because I think he just can't be around him without.
Oh, because he's feeling guilty. Because he probably is friends with the wife too.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, he's friends with the whole family. Right. And especially friends with this man's children. Well, with grown adult children now, obviously. But so he has the guilt of like sitting there chilling. It would be like if I banged your dad and never told you.
That'd be weird.
Right?
Yeah.
I understand the predicament you're in. So honestly, and sometimes it's better to be giving advice than being the one that actually has to receive it and use it. But I think this is like a whole situation that like you have to kind of put your own feelings on the back burner because you don't want to destroy not just a family, but like it could destroy your family too, depending on how close they are. So this might be something that you just go to the grave with and just, you know.
It depends also how permanent these cottages are because that could make for some awkward summers.
Well, they've already been up there for 15 years together.
Okay, so do you really want now this is like your escape from the city and you want to be awkward? Am I going to see the dad? Am I going to see the wife?
Haven't you ever hooked up with somebody and pretended like it never happened because you were embarrassed?
Yes.
So just do that.
Yeah. See,
unless you have feelings for this person. And then we've opened a whole other can of worms. Because according to your email, it happened years ago.
Oh, really?
Yeah. A few years have passed and I still carry around shame.
Have they done it more than, was it a one-time thing?
It says it was a one-time thing.
If it was a one-time thing, I think you're being too sensitive, C.
I think you're just being dramatic.
Like a typical gay.
Or maybe it meant something more to C, you know? And that all of a sudden over the years discovered like, I like this guy.
I think maybe C's disappointed that it didn't happen again because that is straight out of a porn. Like that is hot. That is something you're never going to forget.
And you weren't that drunk. You had one bottle of wine.
Yeah. Well,
sorry.
We're going by our standards now. Let's remember not everybody
or
has
one bottle each.
Was it a Magnum? C is a good gay, though. I want to give C props because I know a lot of gays that would do this and not even have 1 ounce of guilt and be like, oh, well, he shouldn't have done it. He's the married one. I'm not married. Oh, well.
But that's not wrong to have that attitude. It is. He shouldn't have done it. The married guy is the one that is in the wrong.
100%.
You were just a young gay on the beach. You know, I hear that even a slight breeze can give a guy a boner.
Yeah.
So maybe you were just horny, and
okay.
this guy took advantage of you. He's the one that shouldn't have done it.
I
He
agree.
is the married one. He should have said no.
He should have said no, but there's a caveat. You've heard the phrase, close your legs to married men. So if he knew he was married, where's the onus on the other woman, or man in this case, to be like, hey, I don't think this is right.
But they were walking down the beach. He stopped to chat, say hi, like anyone would do with any family friend. And then the guy, the dad persisted to invite him to like have a glass of wine. Like he totally knew what he was doing.
Clearly.
I feel like you were a bit younger then. So maybe I do feel like you're a bit younger as is, and I'm just guessing. But maybe that just meant a little bit more to you than what it meant to him. And now you're feeling like weird about it.
Listen, if it was as good of a night as you're saying, I bet you the dad's thought about it too. And the dad probably wants to do it again. Maybe not, but maybe he
Or
does.
maybe you guys should just talk about it.
Maybe you should talk to the dad first before going public.
Yeah, like lie and be like, yeah, we're going to go fishing and like go on a boat.
And it'll happen again.
This is totally like Cottage Back Mountain.
You're so witty. Let me ask you something from the woman's perspective. If this was you and you were the wife, okay, and you found out about this, would it be worse if the cheater was a man or a woman? You know what I'm saying? The other person was a man or a woman.
I think both, it would both be horrible and devastating, but I think there'd be two different types of horrible devastating. The woman, it would be just plain jealousy and rage. Whereas with a man, it would be like, oh my God, am I dumb? Did I not see this? Did I not pick up on cues that maybe he wanted to explore his sexuality? Like, was I not good enough? Because the thing about women is we have the same parts, right? So I don't know, like, with men, like you can't have a dick. Well, I guess you can as a woman. If
I see what you're saying.
Strap it on.
There's the competition factor.
Right.
Like, why her? If it was a woman.
Right.
Would it turn you off that, like, would you automatically assume he's gay? Or would you think maybe he's just a bit more open? Like the conversation's shifting these days where I feel like straight women are more open to the idea that men maybe aren't as like straight and narrow as we've been brought up to believe. But whether or not you're okay with that is another story.
Well, yeah. And I think we're going to start leaning towards like just not identifying our sexualities. We're just people.
Yeah.
You know, we're not pan, we're not bi, we're not gay. We're just
Or
humans.
everybody's pan, I guess, because pan is attracted to the spirit.
Like we in society, we talk so much about dropping labels. But to do that, we create more labels.
It's true.
You know, like LGBTQ
pan.
started off as LGBTQ, and now there's so many letters that I don't even know if Wikipedia knows how many letters there are now.
And not just letters. Now we're adding numbers, symbols. There's a plus sign. Call me when we add the dollar sign, bitch. You know, that's what we're
But so why don't, instead of going through all these different labels and coming up, which creates confusion in a lot of, you know, mainstream people, mainstream media, why don't we just like drop identificating?
Identifiers?
Right.
Yeah, I think you're onto something, and I think the world is moving in that direction. Eventually, we'll all just be gray aliens with like no gender and nothing. But
no genitals.
No genitals, nothing.
Like Ken dolls, all of us.
One hole. But I think you might be right. And you look at this from another perspective of the dad. The dad's probably got some issues with this too. Like this probably threw him off.
Well, that's why I think you need to go out for a trip on the boat or something, or be like, hey, I got to go pick up some propane. Do something like super manly to throw everybody off.
Go ride that canoe.
Right. And talk about it. Be like, look, I still feel kind of weird about it. Like, I feel really guilty. How do you feel? Then maybe that'll help you figure out what you need to do. But if I was you, I'd be going to the grave with it. But that's just me because I'm that kind of person.
You're terrible.
I feel fucking so guilty, and I'd be embarrassed. That's for me personally. I would be so embarrassed and ashamed of myself for having participated in that with a close family friend.
Well, there's something to say for opening.
I'm not saying that it's wrong either. So just because I'm saying I'd be embarrassed doesn't mean it's wrong what you did and you should be ashamed.
No.
I personally would be.
We're assuming too that this married couple was monogamous and all that. We these are things we don't know. Maybe they've had
right.
threesomes.
You could be stressing about nothing at all.
But it sounds like obviously the next morning the dad was like, "You're gonna keep this quiet, right?" Yeah, man. Me too.
But imagine what your parents are gonna feel like too if they find out that you fucked their friend.
Oh my God, I forgot about that again. Yes, this is the one of the
whole
kids.
Both families are fully involved.
That is a whole other layer. You're right, Jenna. If if this was two dads hooking up, that's almost better. But like when it's one of the kids, you can't ever say anything. See, you cannot.
You got to keep sitting on it.
Yeah. Take that how you want.
Yeah.
Hey. Yeah, no, wow. Oh my God. I don't think he can say anything. I think it would cause more problems.
It would destroy both families. So I think you need to talk things over with him and go like, look, we need to figure something out. Maybe it's about you two communicating more and maybe trying to go up to the cottage on weekends he's not there. I know that sounds like a lot of work, but I mean,
I thought you meant together, like have a full-on Brokeback Mountain affair. And like as if it's, well, if I'm the only one, like, and they're family friends, it's not like he's out riding the town on Grindr. He's like, it's a dedicated cheatation. Yeah, you don't ever know.
But also, like Jesse made the good point, they could have had an open relationship. Like, you don't know because you haven't talked to him about it. You need to go and address it with this man again and just be like, look, this happened a while ago. For some reason, I can't shake it. How do you feel about it? And if he's like, oh, I forgot about it, like, he's a liar. No one forgets a passionate night up at the cottage.
And I think it's telling that you spent the night. Any straight guy that I've heard about hookups with want you out of there right away. It's like I make myself sound like a bomb. Or they just
put a hat on and leave out the door.
That's
before,
it.
Yeah.
There's no spending the night talk in the morning stuff. So that's a different layer, I think.
And also, like, what if someone saw you do a walk of shame?
On the beach? I'd be proud of that walk. Are you kidding me? You call Ursula out from the ocean and just ride the wave.
I understand that living with a deep, dark secret like this can be very stressful on someone and it can wear on you. So instead of telling the families involved, why don't you write a book? Or like a screenplay. So you get everything you've done out on paper, just change the names and write like a novel or something about it.
I love the idea of a screenplay, and I could play you, see, and Jenna could be the older wife. Isn't that a great idea? I'm into this.
I'm one of the kids.
You could be one of the kids. I wonder how many kids there are. That kind of plays a difference.
No, it doesn't. 1 kid, 2 kid, 4 kids, 5 kids. Does not matter. It can be the fucking Duggars for all we know.
Well, I was thinking it would be worse the more there are, like the more people involved kind of thing.
Well, I don't know. That's right. Speaking of men, I just got a text message.
Jenna just got a text from a man.
Asking for my email, super sexy.
Maybe he wants to send some high def photos.
Right. But a zip drive of dick pics. Boom, 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 boom.
I'm getting a cramp. Hold on.
Oh my God, are you okay?
Oh God, that was bad.
So again, I don't know why you asked for our advice. But yes, I do think that you could take that route. If it's bothering you and it's weighing on you instead of, causing this kerfuffle, maybe take that energy and channel it into something creative that you could potentially make money off of.
Yeah.
It is the perfect made-for-TV movie. The only thing you have to do is add like a little bit of cheesy murder in at the end. You go up to the cottage, you have an affair with this guy after a walk on the beach, family, friends, time passes, and then all of a sudden his wife goes missing. Or like something.
Or like y'all find a dead body and the murderer is like, if you ever tell anyone, I'm going to out your secret.
Right.
Like blackmail or something.
I like my idea better.
Okay, whatever.
I watch way more of those movies than you do.
It's true, you do.
I'm the demo.
Hey, speaking of the sex you just got, can I ask you something about girls? Do you guys like getting dick pics or not? Truthful answer, please. Do you want more context? Okay.
Yeah.
My friend Janice talking
like
to
random
this guy.
ones, like out of nowhere, like
no, but like if you're interested,
airdrop, just a stranger airdrops one while I'm at the mall, like.
Emailed in a zip drive. But if you're into the guy, so I have a friend who's talking to this guy and she was complaining to me this morning that he's too basic. Like he's asking things like, have you ever been on a cruise? Or what are you taking in school? And she said to me, just fucking send the dick pic. Like, she wants it. And I was like, whoa, I didn't think girls, because there's so much talk of girls not liking dick pics, but maybe there's a time and place.
Unsolicited dick pics.
Oh, that's what it is. Unsolicited.
I mean, I just don't find anything too exciting about a dick pic. I've seen lots of dicks and they...
You know where to find them online?
Some of them are crooked, some of them are cut, some of them aren't.
Yeah.
Some are dressed for winter, some are dressed for summer,
But I mean, if it's a guy you're into, you might be curious.
Well, you're going to figure it out anyways.
I guess.
I mean, do you necessarily want to watch, 5 previews before you watch a movie?
Well, I do, but I'm speaking for women right now. But so you say unsolicited is a problem, but how's a woman supposed to solicit? Because then you seem like a
Because you
slut.
get into a sexy conversation.
Okay. So you don't just say, send me your dick.
No, ease into it, Jesse.
Although if you did say send me your dick, I'm sure straight guys would be thrilled.
Right.
Just ask C's friend.
Well, you can send your emails to Jesse and Jenna's Messy Podcast at gmail.com. See, we want to follow up and we want to know what you thought of our advice, even if you hated it. Like if you absolutely hated it and want to rip both of us a new asshole, which also sounds like fun.
I'm available.
Feel free to, because we're here to like try our best to help you and give you our honest opinion.
And for once we agree that you should take it to the grave.
Yeah, and write a book instead.
Now, if it's going to give you some kind of mental health complex and you just can't keep it inside,
go to a therapist.
Go
speak to a counselor.
Who could?
Because it sounds like you need to just get it off of your chest. You need to tell someone. That's what I think the biggest problem and the issue is here. He needs to get it off his chest. He needs to tell someone, but there's other options other than telling the families. Write a book, make some money, get a therapist, spend some money.
He's like, I just told you two drunks. What do you mean?
This therapy was free.
Totally. The next time it won't be.
It only costs you a bit of your self-esteem. But yes, please write us back. Let us know what you think. I hope we have a follow-up for this one.
Good luck.
If we don't, we know we're just pieces of shit and they don't want to ever talk to us again.
It's true. And I'm still jealous. I think that's a very hot experience you had. And
it's so hot.
And be grateful that you got in this short life.
It's so hot, but I would not want to have, I don't want to be him right now.
Or the wife.
Because I'm probably very similar to you. Jesse doesn't have any guilt. You need a heart for that. I have a lot of guilt, so I feel like I would be like you, writing to some drunks being like, hey, what do? I need to tell somebody.
Well, the other thing is it could have been just a one-time thing. If this hasn't happened in a couple of years, I mean, how hot was it? If y'all are going there every summer, this was maybe a one-time thing, and it was a mistake on the dad's part, and you just...
We'll have sex again and tell us if it's one time.
Tell us if he gets it up.
Cheers. Good luck, Steve.